And I don't know. I mean, I was so I didn't know what to tell the doctor because I had the fidget spinner stuck in my butt, and I told him I just sat down, and he
You
bought it. But
you gotta watch where you set those things.
I know. Well, I mean, my girlfriend kind of put me up to it, so you know.
Yeah, they do that a lot. And you do realize this is live now, right?
Oh shit. Oh, okay. All right. Hey guys. Hello everybody.
Let's
So
hope she
let's
doesn't
see.
watch this episode.
You're right. fidget fidget spinners and where to put them. That's CC Kawaii's witch.
All right, guys, I'm back. What did I miss?
Fidget spinners in Lai Logan's butt.
Yes.
You
missed
guys were on
everything.
that like 20 minutes ago.
You missed everything.
Yeah.
Did you disappear, Dorian?
I'm here. Just enjoying some good old Canadian chips. So, a Canadian whiskey.
chips.
Oh yeah, the best
what do you
chips are
guys
made in
call
Canada.
call chips in Canada? Chips.
Chips.
You got to come up with some kind of a cool name like the UK, like crisps.
We should.
It's like it's funny because in England they call potato chips crisps, and then they call fries chips.
They like to confuse us.
Yeah, exactly. Just to confuse us, and they drive on the other side of the road too. Fucking nuts.
They do that all over Europe.
And the steering wheel's on the wrong side. They do
You
that
guys are
just
messed up.
different. Yeah. Let's see. And
I just realized how weird this is. All of us have our webcams on. It is so weird.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Why is it weird?
Oh, normally there's at least one of us like cutting out their mic or their video. So,
Well, we do it. We do it when we watch the videos because it seems to help a little bit. So, Dorian, did you ever buy one of those Illuminati fidget spinners?
I did. I bought myself a Batman one,
Oh, okay.
but
I have
I
Iron
don't
Man.
know where I put it.
It blended in with the dark. And how's that video coming along, Loki?
I have it halfway done actually. I've been recording on it.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Nice.
No, I'm not going to do it in 3 parts, I swear. I'm just going
I'm
through.
just looking forward to it. It's actually kind of fun when if you do like a video like in 3 parts or something, because people then can have something to look forward to.
True, I can always edit it down to 3 parts because right now it's at a 20-minute video.
Oh wow.
So I can always do that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
But I'm also editing out my screw-ups.
Yeah, sometimes I don't know whether I want, like, if I end up, like, sometimes I'll do a video, like, especially Bill Schnoebelen videos that, like, they'll be like an hour long or 45 minutes, and I'm like wondering, should I edit this down to like 2 parts or just make one long video?
Dory and I are having a competition.
Uh-oh.
Oh, there we go.
I got a fidget spinner around here somewhere.
Oh, I have
We're hip.
another one on the table which scares the daylights out of the cat, and she tries to knock it off the table.
Here's my fidget spinner. Oh, never mind. My fidget spinner's broken.
Well, this helps for my ADD, so we can have fun with this.
Right. Now, how does that help with your ADHD DOA
For me-
PH thing?
My letter disorder?
Yes.
For me, it helps where I have something I can do with my hands as I'm paying attention to other things instead of just fidgeting with a pencil or other things. Yeah.
Now, how? But yeah, I mean, but honestly, how does it help though?
It helps me more focus on what's going on in front of me because I have something to do with my hands. It's one of those weird mental things.
Okay. All right. I just think that what it is they made that up, like, as you know, just like a selling technique.
Well, originally they were around beforehand for kids like that, and then they decided to market them out for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
And so they started making cooler ones, and yeah, because that's what originally the little cubes were for, is to also help relieve stress.
I don't know. I know for me anyway, it helped me quit smoking. So I'd
Oh,
go
really?
outside with everyone when they're on break, and I would just spin this. It gave me something to do with my hands. So
Hey, but for me, it's entertaining to also put it near my cat and have my cat try to sniff it and it bop her nose.
The nose in your cat's like all cut up and.
Oh no, this is actually very flat plastic at least. But no, she now, if it's spinning flat on the table, if I have it spinning on the table, she will try to whack it off, and half the time it makes it spin more. And so it's entertaining as hell.
You know, it'd be really cool is if like that one that you have, the Iron Man one, of like the little arc reactor in the middle, little like as you spun it, if it glowed, that would be
Lit
cool.
up, yeah. That would be awesome. But like I said, I got it for like $1 on Wish,
Right.
and it actually came in pretty quickly. So I'm gonna next payday I'm buying the Captain America one so that I have the Civil War set.
You can have little fidget wars.
The shield versus the arc reactor.
And play the Star Trek fight music in the background.
Yeah.
Dun, 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 or however it goes.
Now I'm trying to figure out how they will make one look for Thor and Loki and all that kind of fun stuff.
They'll make a whole Avengers one.
That would be awesome.
Like, yeah, they could do one for Black Widow and Thor, the Hulk, Hawkeye. Yeah.
I could see these. Honestly, I would probably just collect them just because some of them are the Marvel ones, and that's pretty much why I got this one, was because it's like, you know what, why not add to my random Marvel bullshit.
And you know it's been a hot minute, so they'll need to make a new Spider-Man pretty soon.
Well, their Infinity Wars is going to have Spider-Man in it. So at least he's being added to the Avengers list.
Oh, good. Okay.
about time.
Yeah, but they need to do another origin story because there just haven't been enough remakes of Spider-Man.
Well, they're making a second Homecoming movie at least, so.
Let me see. So Moats in the house. Mary Morning. How's it going, Mary? Yeah, it looks like a lot of people like those little fidget spinners.
Yeah, like I said, they're entertaining.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you know the video that I did on Saturday, the one I did yesterday, it got blocked by Disney because I played that Ragnarok thing.
I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. It was my choice to do it.
Oh my god!
But I got this.
So you got flagged by Disney?
No, it got blocked. Like it just got blocked. So I couldn't. It's here. Let me. I'll read the email to you.
Oh my god!
I know. So let's see.
Oh, CC, we watched the trailer on the last bit of his video last night, and because we had said something about it, because Animus's laugh was like Thor's Viking laugh. Puny mortals.
Yeah. I mean, it was fun. But let me see. Where is it?
Wow, Disney's really getting serious about that.
Yeah, don't fuck with Disney. They're like the new mafia.
Well, they're kind of pissed off because the Infinity trailer for Infinity Wars was leaked as well. And they're trying to find all those videos and have them taken down.
Ah. Well, it was pretty quick.
Yeah.
That was less than 24 hours.
Yeah, I noticed that when I looked on my notification list that it had the video missing, but it said had just posted blah 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 blah. I'm like, wait, but it has a dash through. That means that either he deleted or it was taken down.
Oh, I deleted it. But this is what it said. It said, "Hi, Hellbound Heathen. Due to a copyright claim, your YouTube video has been blocked. This means that your video can no longer be played on YouTube. Video title, discussion, what do you not know, claimed by Disney." So I was like, well, I'm just going to delete it. Why bother, you know? So I just went into my channel and just deleted it.
Yeah, I mean, you could always throw up the whole fair usage thing because it wasn't like you had the video centered on yourself. Because I noticed if anyone talked, it had flicked to the other people. So technically, it would have been able to fall under fair usage.
Yeah, I don't think so. I mean, I'm not completely 100% certain about copyright things, but I think that I mean, I was in the wrong. So there's nothing I can do about it. So I just deleted it, you know.
We all had fun, at least.
Yeah, I mean, it was yeah. So it was one of those things, you know, that was fun. But yeah, I mean, sometimes like when I got a video copyright by Anita Fuentes, I challenged it because I was like, no, I haven't violated anything. It completely falls within fair use. And so she ended up having to drop the case because she had no case. But this one with Disney, no, I don't. It's their trailer. They can do whatever they want. It's their intellectual property, and we weren't really commenting on it or anything. So,
yeah. According to Moat, apparently Disney strong-armed Capcom to lead the X-Men characters out of the Marvel vs. Capcom game. I can see why. Because, well, not a lot of people really care about playing as the X-Men characters. I know I never really did, but it's because Disney has a contract with Capcom, so does Marvel, but Fox does not.
Right. And
they would have had to pay Fox.
And Marvel like gave rights to certain companies to do certain things with their characters. And then when Disney bought them, all of those contracts, they just had to let them expire, or when they got renewed or whatever, then challenge them. But yeah, Disney's just, I'm so disappointed with Stan Lee that he sold Marvel to Disney. I'm really I had stock in Marvel and all that, and I was so disappointed.
Well, I think it was a good strategic move for the movies, at least, and for some of the shows. It did. I was really sad because it meant when they sold it to Disney, that meant Cartoon Network lost the ability to show and have one of the series they had, which was Avengers Assemble, on their thing. And so the second season that everybody was looking forward to never came out.
Yeah. Because they had their own company, Marvel Entertainment. I mean, they could have essentially made their own. He could have passed the torch on to somebody else. They could have just continued on the company. But
I think it was also they were losing money at that time, and Disney has more of a budget for movies.
Anyway, it's a disappointment because Disney just fucks everything up.
It is a disappointment, but I'm happy we're getting the movies that we've always wanted as comic book fans, and I'm looking forward to a lot of the stuff coming out. So if Fox ever does anything as bad as they did Fantastic Four, or as everyone calls it, Fan Four Stick, there is no way that Fox can ever save the Fantastic Four because of what they have done to them so many times.
Yeah, they keep remaking movies too, like because they had already done a Fantastic Four, and then they did another remake of it, and it's like, you know, how many fucking origin stories do you need to do? It's ridiculous. I
mean, the first Spider-Man movies were, then the Amazing Spider-Man, I did not like at all. Homecoming, I've heard nothing but great things about. So, as for, I'm hoping they hand over Fantastic Four back to Disney, going, here, you can have the rights back. We've screwed it up enough. But as for the X-Men, so far, I'm not going to lie, Fox has done an okay job with them. I like the original 3 movies. I like the newer ones they put out. The only one I didn't really like was Origins, but it was okay. I just didn't like what they did to Deadpool. Logan and Deadpool,
Which
the actual
Deadpool?
movies.
Most recent one?
Wolverine Origins, Deadpool was the one I didn't like. But the actual Deadpool movie, I freaking love that movie. So they did a better job with the Deadpool movie and Logan, which those 2 movies did phenomenal. So
I'm just trying to remember because I know there's one Deadpool movie. Which one are you referring to?
In Wolverine's Origins.
Right. That Deadpool.
How they did him in that movie pissed everyone off.
Yeah.
Except for Soren. I still like the movie. I just didn't like what they did to Deadpool.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, I think the most recent Deadpool movie they had, which was the Deadpool movie, at least, I mean, it that sticks to the canon of the comic books, at least, you know. But
Yep.
the other vision in Wolverine origin stories where the guy was Deadpool, and it's the same actor. I forgot his name.
Yep.
But I mean,
Ryan
I
Reynolds.
kind of liked it just because I kind of like it when they do a little bit of a twist on a character.
Yeah, it's interesting to see them take a character and do a different story with. I'm also looking forward to the series that they're putting out, Gifted, because one of the main characters in it, and this will tie in with X-Men, is Polaris, who is Lorna Dane, who is Magneto's bastard daughter.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have Blink, who's going to be in it, along with Thunderbird and a few others that I've never really heard of, but I'm looking forward to going, yay, 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 yay. My inner geek is happy.
Well, the Marvel universe is just immense. They have just so many characters that to draw from. It's incredible. There's just so many.
Oh yeah, and eventually I'm hoping they do an Alpha Flight movie so our Canadian heroes can have some spotlight, and the Canadian children like Dorian can have heroes on the big screen.
No, nobody cares about Canada.
Hey, we already have Wolverine. We already have Superman. So.
Come on!
Nobody cares about Canada, Dorian. Let's just face facts, okay?
Yeah.
You got hockey, you got some weird beer, and your stupid chips, and that's about it. Your Maple Leaf.
Right. And the reason why that he won't breach his contract by doing both characters is because it's for 2 different studios, but it's still on Marvel Cinema, so he's fine. It's a weird little thing.
All right. Well, this was fun, but let's get down to business.
What we do.
We got some serious videos to debunk. Got to get into this. So let me remember how to do all of this. Okay.
All right, and we'll turn off our cameras for you.
Yes. And let me share application window. There we go. Hey. See it?
I see. We see it.
Okay. This one, I have no idea what the hell it is, but we'll watch it anyhow and see what happens.
All right. Did you hit present to all?
Let me see. I think so. Can everybody in the chat see it?
We see it, but I'm pretty sure if we talk, it covers the video. You need to hit the. There you go.
Okay.
I like the guitar music.
Yeah.
Yeah, is these one of those videos we have to read?
Yeah.
There's
At least
a
the
wall.
music's halfway decent.
I think they watched the Doom intro a few too many times and tried to make theirs as epic.
Probably.
Yeah, I have no idea what this is about. Hey, sure do good. Make good use of that pentagram symbol, though.
All I know is I don't know how we're supposed to debunk this video because it just looks like song lyrics.
Yeah, it's only 2 minutes and 30 seconds, though.
Yeah. I love Moat's response. If God wanted us to read, he wouldn't have given me us audible.
Yeah, yeah, really. So it looks like it's maybe some band or something.
I think so.
All right. Well, I don't know who put it in our playlist, but it's done. We did it. It's been debunked.
Oh, something about underwear.
Yes. We can put it in the finished file. Okay, all right, that was it. So this one is called Canada, the First State of the New World Order, by our good friend Mario.
Oh yeah.
So listen up, Dorian. This one's for you.
It's TVC Marvel, and you're here for another edition of New World Order Exposed. In today's video, well, everyone, it is Canada Day. For those of you who don't know or can't tell by my accent, I'm a Canadian, French Canadian.
We're so sorry, Dorian. We didn't know.
I am extremely sorry, Dorian.
Yeah, my condolences.
And I'm highly concerned with the direction that my country is taking. So on this 150th celebration of Canada's sovereignty and just our birthday, basically, I decided to go ahead and use this video to warn Canadians out there about the direction of our country. We should be very concerned, and it is not a time to be apathetic.
Some might even say you should be vigilant. Hey, Chip Boy, turn your mic off.
I think he forgot that his mic was on.
Yeah.
Where
Oops.
country is going. It's time to take things very seriously. What I'm going to show you in this video here today is how our current Prime Minister, Justin Trudeau, the drama teacher, I mean, he's literally the most unqualified Prime Minister we've ever had. He's a ski instructor and a part-time drama teacher. That's his experience, and he was born into a rich family because his dad was a prime minister, had a whole bunch of money, and set him all up, and the guy's never had a hard time in his life. But anyways, this is the clown who is running our country, and he's running—
That I will agree with, though, 100%.
What's that?
I will agree that he is not qualified at all. Like, he's just a spoiled rich kid who his daddy was prime minister, so now he's a prime minister. So.
Oh, really? So his dad was the previous prime minister?
Not the previous one, but
oh,
let's just say it was enough to turn people to the other side. That's how bad his dad was in office. So.
Because I don't know anything about him, but yeah, I've heard that people just don't like him. They feel he's just like he's too pandering to certain particular people and not really looking out for the best interests of the country.
Oh man, he panders hard. Like, Trump may have the art of the sale and stuff like that. Trudeau has like the art of sucking up. So
I think Trump has the art of making himself and his buddies more money. That's about it. You know.
So what I'm going to do in this video here today is show you that he plans
And this guy right here, he looks like a bullfrog.
Who is that though? Is that one of the Rockefellers or something like that? Or
I don't know. I mean, he looks familiar, but I don't know who he is. Maybe somebody in the chat knows who he is. But he looks like an albino bullfrog.
Or a sad rich man.
Yeah, but if you're that rich, why are you sad?
Because I have to pay taxes. I don't fucking know.
No, they don't pay taxes. That's why Trump wouldn't release his tax records for the past couple of years.
Oh yeah.
They find ways to get out of that.
and is currently taking away Canada's sovereignty as a nation and trying to make us into the first post-national New World Order state. All right, guys, so let's go ahead and get right into it. Now, I'm just going to state off the bat here, I love my country. I've always considered myself a patriot. In fact, just by coincidence, I went to a high school called La Citadelle, and the
I like how he says it in French and then says it in the Anglo-Saxon, the Anglo way of saying it in French.
Wow.
Le maple leaf.
school was
We love you, Dorian. We promise.
we're patriots.
whatever you say, eh?
Yeah. Hey, hey, give me another beer, eh?
Stop culturally appropriating my A, eh?
Dirty point book. Tale number 2.
Hey, Dorian, how do you
Yep.
spell Canada, eh? C-A-N-A-D, eh?
We're horrible people, but if he's laughing, I think we're good.
Yeah, we better be careful. He'll burn our White House down again.
God damn, we just fixed that. Well, actually, no. You can go ahead and do it. Just make sure Trump's inside.
Yeah, exactly.
You think Canadians haven't planned that yet? We know that you guys made it all concrete, so we have to use bombs this time. So
Okay.
Yeah, but you see, we put up certain blocks to prevent you from doing that. All around the fence, we have locks, so you'll never be able to figure it out.
People, you guys have different things that you are. Well, we were the Patriots. So it's almost been ingrained in me since I was very young to stand firmly as a patriot. And Canada needs patriots to stand for it, to be empowered by God, because God wants this land to remain glorious and free. We've been singing it in our national anthems, and God responds to that.
Really? How do you know that, Mario? And wouldn't that conflict with all the priests in America who think that God loves the national anthem or our national anthem?
And this was, for the most part, a country built on Christian principles. And now this prime minister is steering us in the direction of destroying our heritage, our true heritage. And that is such a shame. Canada is one of the most beautiful lands in the world. A little bit biased, and I do live here, but come and visit, and I'm telling you, it is gorgeous. We have such a beautiful land. The people here are pretty chill. We're really relaxed. You guys make fun of us for being super nice and stuff, but it's just because we just like to get along with people.
Damn it, Dorian, why are you so nice?
I'm sorry. I don't know why.
Why are you always apologizing? Oh,
You know what? You're right. I'm sorry.
Fuck.
Well, at least you're
But-
nice about it.
Well, there's one thing I do have to point out. I do understand that they did, as far as I know, Canada did start out primarily Christian, and now they're more open and willing to allow people to be whoever they want to be. I don't see how that's destroying the country.
Yeah.
Do you, Dorian?
I
every
don't
Western
understand.
country is pretty much Christian.
Yeah.
Sorry, Dorian, didn't mean to interrupt you.
Oh no, it's all good.
All right. Don't want to piss off the Canadian.
An amazing place, and I want to keep it free, glorious, and the way that it has been. But unfortunately, that's going to be difficult with the current driver of our country, the one who's in the driver's seat right now, Liberal Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, the LGBT supporting anti-Christian leader that is leading Canada. Now, I'm just going to take a little side note here because immediately I know some of you, because you are caught into the left-right paradigm bot.
But Canada doesn't have Democrats and Republicans, do they?
We have liberals and conservatives.
Okay. I don't know why he's... Okay.
You interpret me being against Justin Trudeau as, well, he must be someone who would vote for the Conservative Party. Now, that's not true. My political views do line up more with conservative values, but I do recognize that it's a two-party system, just like it is in the States. The elite, the globalists, control both sides. And basically, it doesn't matter what puppet we put into place, whether it's a liberal or a quote-unquote conservative, because both are complete controlled. And it's been like that with Canada forever. Okay, so just a side note, I'm not for any political, left or right paradigm. I understand that both are completely controlled, but I'm definitely more against liberalism because its values line.
Can I just say how this person strategically placed their phone right there?
You're right. He did.
I mean, you have to give him props for that. I don't know where his keys and his wallet are, but he's got that phone, easy access. So
up with the George Soros style of New World Order that the globalists are trying to implement. And when you see real change now down here, guys, that's not a good thing. The change that's being brought, we'll talk about the change that's being brought here.
We had gay marriage legalized before the States. What the hell is he talking about?
Oh, really? When did they legalize it?
Give me 10 seconds here. I totally forget when, but I just remember that it was before. So.
Oh, that's okay. But yeah, I don't know when when the first state was that gay marriage was legalized. Do you, Loki, in America?
I lived in California when it happened. The first state, I think, though, was is one of the smaller states that actually was the first state to do it. I think it was like Maryland or.
Oh, really? Oh, you know what? I think you're right. I think it was Maryland.
And it was back in the early 2008, 9-ish.
Yeah.
I want to say.
Yeah.
All right, I got it up here now. Canada,
Okay.
The first province was June 10th, 2003. And then finally, the rest of Canada came to around July 20th, 2005.
Oh.
Okay, yeah, you guys win.
All right. Okay. All right. We'll give you that one, Dorian. We'll give you that one. That's it, though. No more.
All right.
You allowed gays before this guy.
All right.
Now, here is exactly what I've been saying. This is proof that he is anti-Canada and is pro-globalist and has now.
Yeah, he's for gays, so he must be anti-Canada.
Well, considering that they were 4 gays before him. Shit.
Now offered Canada as the first, what he is calling, post-national state. Let's check this out. This is a quote from 2015 where Justin Trudeau said, "There is no core identity." What? No mainstream in Canada? Those qualities are what make us the first post-national state. Oh.
I have no idea what that means. There is no core identity, no mainstream in Canada. Those qualities would make us the first post-national state. There must be more to that.
Okay. What does post-national even mean? Well, post-national or non-nationalism is the process or
Dorian, Mike.
trend by which nation states and national identities lose their importance relative to supranational and global entities. So literally what he is saying here is that Canada doesn't have an identity, and that's great because now we can mesh ourselves into this new world order globalist system. And we are the first post-national state. Well, Justin, you're completely deceived, my friend. And I mean, you're such a fool. Look at this, okay? He comes out and he says that we have no identity. But what's this? What's that? Whoa, look at that. It's called the coat of arms, Justin. Well, let's take a look at our coat of arms. Now, to say that we don't have a core identity is to say that Canada has no heritage, which is nonsense. That's not true. Of course we have a heritage. Why is this flag there? Why is that one there? Why is, if you actually look at the coat of arms, okay, there's the motto that actually comes from Psalm chapter 72, verse 8. He shall have dominion also from sea to sea and from river unto the ends of the earth. So clearly, we had an identity. It was founded in Christianity.
Wait a second. Not necessarily does that mean from sea to sea means Psalm 728.
Unless it was actually taken from it. I don't think it was.
Well, I mean, it could have been, but still, they could have said. I mean, I don't know the origins of it, but from sea to sea could mean from one coast of Canada to the other coast. I mean, that's what it could be, you know. And then this one, Hebrews 11, but now they desire a better country that is okay. Well, maybe he's getting to that part. Do you know anything about the Canada's coat of arms, Dorian?
I actually don't. As sad as it sounds, it's something they taught you like elementary school, and then you totally forget over time.
Damn it, you're one lousy Canadian, Dorian. You don't know? Well, hell, if anybody asks me about our flag, I don't know either. So
I know about our flag, but that's about it. But we do have other Canadians in, the chat, like Mary.
Okay, what is she saying?
She hasn't said anything. I just need. Does anyone in the chat know anything about the Canadian coat of arms?
Or like the like where the from sea to sea. I mean, it's kind of an obscure question. I mean, it's really obscure. So, I mean, it's probably something we'd actually have to look up and research.
As much as it possibly could be, it is definitely not based on the Quran or anything like that. This is not a verse from the Quran. It is from the Holy Christian Bible that it is on our coat of arms. So yes, we do have an identity. And I'm going to play a video at the end here. It's actually going to show you more proof that we were founded to have Christian values. And this is what patriots we need to stand up for against. We need to stand up for these globalists that want to take this away from us. They want to take away our true heritage. They want to take away our true identity and give us over to the George Soros globalist of the New World Order. It's not going to happen while I'm breathing.
Wow. He sounds so hateful for a Canadian.
It's the globalists. Not only are they turning the frogs gay, but they're allowing them to get married. It's sick, I tell you.
Yeah.
God needs to come down and cleanse the earth.
Yeah.
Without a fight. Let me tell you, Justin Trudeau, you're going to sing this today, you hypocrite, not even knowing that you are just exposing your own self. Oh, Canada, our home and native land. What does this say? True patriot love? Would you look at that? And you want to talk about us not having any nationalism, but it's all about true patriot love? In all thy son's commands. And by the way, they're trying to change this national anthem. They're trying to take out the sons because somehow now in Justin Trudeau's whacked world, this is considered to be sexist when all thy sons command was actually a particular military, I guess you could say a fleet in the Canadian.
I do have to say this whole everything is sexist narrative is really getting to the point of absurdity.
I have to agree with that too. And this is coming from a gay woman, for fuck's sake. I don't care. Hell, even our Pledge of Allegiance, though I do not say under God, but with anything, just because it says son in it does not mean that it's for men. Like he's saying, it is something to do with the Canadian fleet.
Mm-hmm.
It has nothing to do with gender or any of that. So it's one of those interesting moments that it makes you stop and wonder.
Yeah. It's just, yeah, they're just trying to change every little unimportant thing. And it's like, there are bigger problems in the world, like, like women who are still actually slaves and having their clitoris removed in the Middle East. But no, let's change the words of "Oh Canada" to sons, to daughters and sons. It's like, what the fuck? How ridiculous. I mean, it's such a little obscure, pointless thing.
Canadian Army that gave their lives, and they have a historical reason to be in our national anthems. But no, this is now considered sexism. Right, the name of the military group that, died for us, thy son's command, that is somehow sexist. Right, that's the insanity that we're buying into. But anyways, with glowing hearts, we see thee rise, the true north. And remember this, strong and free. We are going to remain strong and free. God will keep us, Justin. From far and wide, oh, Canada, we stand on guard. And Justin, I'm guarding this nation in the name of Jesus.
Oh, God.
I have to admire his passion, though.
Yeah.
In the name of God, for thee, God, keep our land glorious and free. Once again, I'm standing on guard for thee. But key here, God keeping our land glorious and free. Us as true patriots who love this land, keeping guard. And this is what true patriots we need to guard against. The current globalists that seek to brainwash us. If you don't know, CBC, our news media, is tax funded. We literally tax fund liberal propaganda to be fed to every single Canadian across the nation. And that is only going to continue to push us in the plans of the New World Order elite. Here are some of the few things that have been brought up recently here in Canada that show that, yes, there are changes being made by Justin Trudeau, but they're not good. There was Bill M103, which caused a lot of people to, get upset, and I was one of them.
I think, is that the one that we gone over on one of my live streams about Child Protective Services? If someone identifies as a trans person and the parents don't agree with that and they interfere with it, that their child could be taken away.
103, I believe, was the whole Islamophobia bill.
Oh, is that what M103 was?
I'm pretty sure that's what it was. Yeah.
Okay. And what was the could you summarize it for us?
Oh yeah, that was the M103 was the whole pretty much if you do anything to offend a Muslim and stuff like that, you could be considered Islamophobic and it'd be considered a hate crime.
So now, does that apply to all religions or just Islam?
It lightly states that for all religions, but every example and all the core things in there are for Islam.
Wow.
So a lot of groups saw it as like putting up Islam on a special pedestal and stuff like that, like unfair treatment.
Yeah, well, I'd actually agree with that. What happens if somebody does something that's anti-Christian? Does it fall under that?
Probably not, because with the way everything's going right now, you're allowed to bash every group but one group. So
wow, that's not fair. It should be the same for everybody or not at all. That I don't agree with.
But of course, it's passed in our government, no problem. And what is Bill M103? Well, it's these laws now that are you can't just quote unquote have hate towards anyone who's a Muslim or Islam or stand up against the immigration stuff that's going on. Just nonsense. By the way, this is an attack on free speech, and it's not the only thing that they're bringing in. I did a video a while back talking about the fact that in Canada, you're going to be in prison for 2 years for sharing your Christian beliefs, but they call that anti-transgender speech. Of course, anything to a liberal that opposes their worldview, even though it's just simple disagreement, even if it's done respectfully, they view it as now it's
I love the title of this: Vigilant Christian going to jail for trying to exercise religious freedom. But he never went to jail.
So, Dorian, I do have a question about this then.
Yeah, go ahead.
Is that true that if you try to, if you're a missionary and you're preaching Christianity and trying to convert people over, can that throw you in jail?
Not that I've heard, no.
So basically, he's pulling this out of his ass.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if so, then he would have been in jail already.
Yeah.
Is worked out world, when you disagree with someone, that's automatically hate. But anyways, check out the direction of this new world order state that's being developed here in my country. They are going to put laws so that any Christians are imprisoned if you stand up against Islam and Sharia law being taken over by, being brought into your nation. You're now considered a bigot and a hater, and you probably could face fines as well. Another thing that Justin does that is absolute foolishness is he goes around with this motto that diversity is Canada's strength. Well, I think Justin needs to do a little bit of a sociology and a history lesson, because any type of solid research in those two fields is going to show you that diversity has never historically proven to be a strength for a country.
That's not exactly true. I mean, if you look at every great city in history, they've always been a hub of multi-cultures and different religions. They've always been a hub of commerce, language, multiculturalism, and you could call that diversity. You know, I mean, Rome is a perfect example of that. They had all kinds of different cultures coming in and out of there, all kinds of different religions. I mean, they even started like the very first well, actually, in mind. But I mean, still, it's just every great city has been diverse. So diversity is a strength. Actually, it can be a strength, but it can also, like if you like what they're doing right now is trying to divide everybody and show and just emphasize the differences, then it becomes a hindrance. Then it becomes a weakness. But if you find, I mean, you can still be diverse, but have a commonality. That's how you find unity.
In fact, all research, all case studies show the exact opposite, that it causes unhappy people. You're having other people, because here's the thing, we do have an identity. We do have a Christian nation, okay? Over here, women aren't oppressed like they are in the Middle Eastern countries. They're not veiled, they're not abused, they have rights, they have all this stuff. So what happens here is when you're bringing in an immigrant, what Justin is saying is, since we supposedly have no identity, is they don't even try and have cultural integration. For immigration to be successful, the people need to culturally integrate to us. And if you have a problem with that, go back to your country. You can't come here and grab little sections like you are and then say, well, we own this section now and this is a Muslim section. Hey, you just literally stole our land, okay? You need to assimilate to us. You need cultural integration or get out. It's that simple, okay? If I come into
Actually, there was one, I got a funny story for you guys. There was a guy in Saskatchewan, one of our many, many beautiful provinces here. He was a big Trekkie, right? And his license plate was assimilate. And an Islamic group went to the registry board, made a complaint, and they forced the guy to get a new plate because they felt threatened that his license plate said assimilate.
Wow. That's crazy.
So small things like that are happening here. I have seen some groups go out and they'll be like designated little areas that they stick to, but I'm not sure to what extent. Like Mario's making it sound like it's at an extreme peril.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, I think there should be a common culture. Like, for example, like I was talking about earlier with Rome, like, okay, so Rome has all kinds of different, cultures and exchanges that were happening, but they were still the Roman, there was still a Roman government. It was still the Roman tongue, the Latin tongue. So those things, yes. Like if I move to China, I should anticipate moving to China, understanding that I'm going to be living in that culture, speaking that language, living under their government system. So yes, diversity can be a good thing, but if you're going to move to a country, you have to understand that you're going to become a part of that country. You're going to have to assimilate. That's just the way it is. It's like when I went to Vietnam and I stayed in Vietnam, you know, with my girlfriend's family. I had to assimilate and adopt their culture. I can't go against it. You know, I can't expect them to turn around and, you know, adjust to me. And it's, you know, it's completely ridiculous. We have to understand that if we're living in another country, that we're going to be taking on that country. You know, I can't talk today, adapting to that culture in that country.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, I mean, if you look at the US, yes, we have a diverse people and all that happy stuff. But most people take on, okay, we're going to this country, so we have to do what their law orders, we have to stay within their laws. And sometimes I have noticed, even with us, we do take special exceptions, but then there are some things that we're just like, no, you can't do that shit here. I mean, getting offended by what somebody had on their license plate is something that is utterly stupid. And yeah, I know there are certain phrases and stuff that you can't put on your license plates here to prevent people from getting mad. Like you can't put swear words on your license plate. But then there are some people, like our license plate, that pretty much the initials they have is, it pretty much says bitches on our license plate. So there are some places that things like that can and do happen. But to be offended by just a word like assimilate is a little weird.
You have rules. Same thing goes here. Justin Trudeau, Canada has rules. We don't want the sick, twisted practices that are happening in Middle Eastern countries to find their way in here. And for those of you who actually buy into this immigration nonsense, you need to do your research. Go to a YouTube channel called The Black Pigeon. He's done great work on showing this whole immigration thing from Syria is a complete scam. 60% of the people coming over are men. They're concubines. They're not even real refugees. This is a complete media scam to bring in more people to destabilize our country. Not going to take too much time to get into that, but there's a ton of research out there that you can go ahead and get yourself. But there you go, everyone. I wanted to go ahead and raise the alarm as a true patriot here on Canada Day, celebrating the 150th birthday of my amazing country. I am going to continue to stand on guard for thee. I'm going to continue to pray every day that God keeps this land glorious and free. And Justin, the Bible tells me to pray for you. Since you are my elected leader, I am to pray for you, and you best believe that I am. But I am not, the Bible doesn't tell me to blindly follow you and to not speak out when you do foolish things that that literally sells out our country. You've sold out Canadians. You've sold out our heritage for a global liberal agenda. Shame on you. Yes, I'm praying for you, but shame on you. And I pray, what I'm actually praying is repentance from these sick, twisted, anti-Christ spirited agendas that you find yourself in. So actually, I've got a little message here for Justin in closing. Everyone have a blessed day.
All right. So I think that's enough of that.
Justin,
it's really funny because I don't know about how it is in Canada, but here in America, the Pledge of Allegiance actually didn't have the words it didn't have the word God in it. They actually put that in later on. I'm trying to remember what it was, but you can look it up.
Yeah, it used to be, I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, one nation. Just the under God part was completely taken out. They
Right.
added it in, I believe, in the 70s? I don't know. I'd have to double check.
It was earlier than that. It was like I think it was like 1930s or 50s.
I know when some of the original comic books for like Superman and all that came out as well, they had it in there and they didn't have Under God in it, so I'm not 100% sure on when they added it in or.
Okay, so let me see. You guys can't see my screen. Let me share this. And present to everyone. All right. Okay, so in 1954. So in 1954, President Dwight D. Eisenhower's urging, the Congress legislated that Under God be added, making the pledge read, I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. So that's where we didn't have that in there. We didn't have that before. And also another little interesting bit of history is the Bellamy salute. And this was, I think, around the same time or a little bit afterwards. But the Bellamy salute looks exactly like the Hitler, the High Hitler sign. So let me put this in. This is interesting images. So this is what it was. They had all these kids like making the Pledge of Allegiance, and it looked like the Nazi salute. This is what it used to be.
Wow.
Can you guys see that?
That is kind of funny.
Yeah. So they had all these kids like almost exactly giving the Nazi salute. And then they changed it during World War II to the hand over the heart. So there you go, a little history lesson. Our history lesson of the day on Heathen Haven. Brought to you by the letter G for God. All right. Let's see. All right. So all right. So now it's 8 o'clock now. So let's see. We got a couple more here. So let's go to the next one. So this next one is about the awful, horrible Wiccan binding they did on Trump.
You mean that joke of a binding?
Yeah, pretty much.
Wiccans do evil pagan ritual sacrificing Trump in sick way. This will blow your mind. A very large group of pagan Wiccans gathered for their yearly celebration of the midsummer solstice. They believe that the night is imbued with evil and that evil spirits are roaming the earth.
No, that's not what people think the midsummer solstice is about.
And we don't think the night is full of evil spirits ever.
Yeah.
So they make a sacrifice. And this time, these Donald Trump haters sacrificed the president in a sick way, with the pagans cheering and dancing around. However, there was something so sinister going on behind the scenes, it's going to blow your mind. Broadcasted on Danish state television and radio, the Denmark pagans got together to celebrate their tradition of Midsummer's Eve, and they decided to burn an effigy of President Donald Trump. Americans should be quite disturbed that, as far away as Denmark, there is a real faction of liberal loons who really despise our president. These liberal nutjobs who identify as either Wiccans or pagans, are fighting back against their own country's nationalist movement, accusing Trump that this evil ritual is going too far.
You
Oh,
know,
God.
but that's one of the great things about living in this country is that we can speak up and speak out against our leaders if we don't agree with them. So
Exactly. We're allowed to do that.
But the way he made it sound like those liberal loons who call themselves Wiccans and stuff like that, it's just like, so every liberal is a Wiccan.
yes,
All right, that's good to know.
every single one of them. Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, exactly. And I agree with you. And I often hear that. They'll say, oh, well, I was even accused of that. I was accused of being a liberal. And I was like, well, yeah, I mean, my views are liberal on certain things, but also on others, I'm actually rather conservative on. So it really depends on which view it is, you know. But for this, yes, I mean, that's one of the great things about living in America is that you can openly disagree with the president and say that he's an idiot and burn him in effigy and all this. It doesn't make it right, but you can do that. In other countries like North Korea, you can't do that. You'd be killed. You can't even speak out against them. You'll be killed or put into a retransitioning cell or whatever they call it.
The taxpayer-financed and state-run TV channel told viewers that the Trump, which was a symbol of all the evil men in the world. Danish comedian Karsten Bang half joked to viewers that the U.S. president will burn well because of his age, saying the last Twitch was executed almost 50 years after Christian IV died, year 1700, here in Denmark.
What? That doesn't make any sense.
The witch was in her early 70s, and at that age, your body is quite dry, so she was probably easy to burn.
Wow. So if you're 70 years old, you're easier to burn at the stake. Got it. I'll keep that in mind when I'm burning people. You have to be 70 or older.
Well, I got to play that again. That didn't make any sense.
State-run TV channel told viewers that the Trump, which was a symbol of all the evil men in the world.
Okay, so they built an image, an effigy of Trump, and they burned it and then when asked, it was because Trump was a symbol of all the evil in the world. Okay, that part I understand.
Danish comedian Karsten Bang half joked to viewers that the U.S. president will burn well because of his age.
Okay, so then a comedian joked that Trump would burn well because of his age.
In the last Twitch was executed almost 50 years after Christian IV died.
So something about a witch was burned 50 years before this?
Year
I guess.
700 here in Denmark.
So that was in 700. What?
Because of his age, saying the last Twitch was executed almost 50 years after Christian IV died. Year 1700.
1,700. So 1,700. Okay.
Here in Denmark. The witch was in her early 70s, and at that age, your body is quite dry, so she was probably easy to burn.
Was that part of the joke, or was he like mixing up his lines on his cue cards?
I don't. Yeah, I mean, I don't think that was part of the joke. That doesn't make any. I mean, there's nothing funny about that. There's something funny about Trump is, pretty old, and so he would burn easily. But then they said because 50 years earlier, in 1700, there was another witch who was 70 years old who burned. It doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't to me either, but I think what he's saying is the guy made the joke about Trump burning well because he's old, and he's saying, well, the reference points to that was the person who was 70 years old who was burnt. I think the narrator did not type it in correctly to the bot that they have reading for him what was supposed to be said, because
Right.
it does sound like the bot screwed up because the person typing it didn't put it in correctly.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, so I mean, it's an electronic voice. So yeah, so he's yeah. So it's not the, what do you call it, the meter of the voice and all this, and you know, it's just not carrying over because it's an electronic voice.
Well, what I mean is that Donald Trump is also in his 70s, so he will also catch fire easily.
Okay, so yeah, so it sounds like it was a really bad joke, and because it was also translated into some kind of electronic voice, completely lost it.
I'd love to meet the guy who made this video, though. He's probably like busting a gut. He's just like, oh man, this joke is going to get them good.
Yeah, really. If I don't get 1 million views on this, I don't know what will.
There's more. What at first glance looks like a bunch of weird pagans getting together to dance naked under the moon around a huge bonfire is actually
Now that's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
sinister. This celebration dates back hundreds of years in Denmark, and it was being shown all throughout the country. So the whole country of Denmark was watching an effigy of Trump burn, and we have to ask, what would Danish state TV gain by broadcasting such a thing? Just like how our mainstream media is controlled by the far left, it's worse in Denmark. There, they proudly identify as socialists and communists and are fighting the growing conservative nationalist movement, which sees Trump as a guiding light. So they burn Trump, destroying him on taxpayer TV. Here's how one NetIndy described what happened to the effigy of Trump as the leader of the pagan ritual cast her spell. It's Midsummer's Eve. We light a fire. We set fire to the witch, and the witch named Donald, last name Trump.
What? I don't think a pagan ritual would say that they are going to burn a witch in effigy and the witch is Donald Trump.
No, that does not sound right. And why would we call him a witch?
Exactly. I mean, I can understand them burning burning an effigy of Trump. I can completely see that. But yeah, I agree with you, Loki. They're not going to call him a witch.
It is indeed a man, but never mind when the man meets all requirements as populist rogue. He is white, has rich, he is red-haired, he has TV thatching, and nobody makes him rivaling in TV arena. Trump can fold the journalists together at both ends and roll him into the wings. Trump's appeal to those who seek a return to national borders and pride in your own country is causing the globalists, who are throughout Europe, to panic. Trump is bucking the system of world's elitist masters, and they are fighting back. As Pamela Geller...
Just a note, there's nothing wrong with being prideful. In my opinion, there's nothing wrong with having national pride. There's nothing wrong with being a quote-unquote nationalist. That just means that you have pride in your country, in your nation. So just because somebody has pride in their own country and their own nation, that doesn't mean that they are for other things, like, let's say, you know, keeping legal immigrants into the country. Illegal immigrants, that would be completely different. I mean, there's many good reasons to not promote illegal immigration. Illegal immigration is a problem. Legal immigration, there's nothing wrong with that. You know, if you legally want to immigrate to any country and you go through the proper channels, get all the proper verifications, inoculations, all of that stuff, that's good. I mean, I think I've spoke up on this before, but if you are illegally in a country, you open yourself up to all sorts of things. First of all, something happens to you, how are you going to run to the authorities without feeling like you're going to be deported? You know, landlords can take advantage of you. Employers can take advantage of you. Anybody can take advantage of you because you don't have legal status. You don't have the right to actually vote. You don't actually have the right to get any kind of compensation for, like, let's say, unemployment, retirement. any kind of health coverage or anything. I mean, it's completely detrimental to be an illegal immigrant in a country. So that's my little rant. I'll put my soapbox off to the side.
Road, though being the subject of debate in Denmark, the Trump-critical Danish government has not commented on the state television's mock execution of the U.S. president. Challa added, "This is not the first time Donald J. Trump has been killed. The rapper Snoop Dogg has shot Trump in a video. The artist Kathy Griffin decapitated him on Trump-critical CNN, and actors have stabbed him. President Donald Trump is the one man who is clearly changing the world. Let the pagans..."
Wouldn't that mean that they can't take him down? Like, if Trump's going to go down, he's going to come back up, man. We're going to need something else, like maybe some silver bullets, maybe some kind of like special mirror to like push him into. I don't know, but
Maybe a stake to the heart.
Yeah, I think
That might work.
I think we might have to do that. We might have to drive a stake through his heart, shoot him with a silver bullet, chop off his head, put it between his legs, and then stuff it with garlic. Might have to, because he's like a zombie with a bad toupee. He just won't die,
the toupee comes off, they put it on another body, it starts to form a new Donald. So
Yeah, exactly. Like a Medusa, like a Hydra. Your brains are huge.
Let's burn him in effigy. Christians in America are praying for our president, Bailey. Let this be a reminder of just how many sickos want Trump gone. They can try, but patriotic Americans and conservatives worldwide stand for God-given rights, something the liberals and globalists will never take away from us, no matter how many pagan rituals they have. Please share the story and tell us what you think by clicking one of the buttons below. We want to hear your voice.
Oh God, that was horrible.
If you haven't heard,
Oh, wait, stop. Wait, oh, where's it? We want to go back. Because we want to leave a comment. We want to leave a comment on this guy's channel. What do we want to say?
Maybe if you did without the robotic voice, more people would take you seriously.
All right. Maybe if you did this without the robotic voice, people would take you more seriously. That's it?
That's all I could think of.
You are a big weenie head.
Lunatic.
Weenie head. You're a big weenie head. Yeah?
Yeah.
No, we'll take that part out. All right, okay.
Only weaklings use bots, according to C. Stewart.
Uh-huh.
We still don't have a reply yet to our masturbation comment.
Only weaklings use bot? What was that, Dorian?
We still haven't got any replies from that guy talking about how masturbation is sin.
Yeah, we never will. So there we go. Post. 34 views. Yeah, this guy's a... Yeah, he's working on that million, slowly working his way up. All right, so now we got our final one here.
If you haven't heard, witches around the world are casting spells.
Yep.
Against Donald Trump to get him out of office. They're sending curses his way. So here you go. Here's Elle Fashion Magazine showing, are you going to cast a spell on Trump? If you need help, they'll tell you how to get your coven together to do that. A spell to bind Donald Trump and all those who abet with him. So this is a Facebook page, mass spell to bind Donald Trump, February 24th. Every waning crescent moon from February 24th, 2017 on, they're going to be casting these spells to bind Donald Trump, ending when he is driven from office. Here's Fox News Insider. Witches cast mass spell with hopes of removing Trump from office. Witches plan to cast mass spell against Donald Trump. And the key ingredient to the ritual, an unflattering photo of the president. And what do they do with these unflattering photos? Well, they burn them. Yes, burn them. Witches gather at midnight to cast spell against Donald Trump, according to the Griot. All right, so
it looks like they have, I don't know if that's a part of a cigarette or what in there.
Man, if you're gonna use a spell with tobacco, use good tobacco, man. It's an offering.
Well, yeah, exactly. I mean, I was just thinking it could be some kind of a Aruba thing or something. They use tobacco in their rituals, but I don't know exactly what that is. But yeah, right, exactly. Use good tobacco.
So here's something that I hope these Wiccans are remembering. Maybe they don't know their own code, but it's called the threefold law. Gerald Gardner is where this can originate with his teachings. He did say, mark well when thou receivest good, so equally art bound to return good threefold. He says, whatever good you put out will come back to you threefold. Whatever good you receive, you should give out in return threefold. This doesn't just apply with good, it also applies with evil and harm. So remember the threefold rule. If you harm someone, you'll be harmed 3 times as bad. We don't harm others. So these witches, if they're casting curses or harms or binding Trump they should expect the same to come back to them threefold. I think it's just a good example of when.
Yeah, but as we're all well aware of, not everybody believes or even follows this threefold concept. So and the people who were casting the spell might not have been Wiccan. They might have been just some other form of witchcraft practice. So it doesn't mean that they have to follow this threefold law. And even witches, such as myself, who are Wiccan, don't follow that threefold law because we understand it, but it's not like a law. It's not a rule. So
Rules doing what they typically do, picking and choosing the bits of a belief system that they like, that they want to praise and adhere to, but not taking the belief system together as a whole, being very subjective. And
God, I love that statement for one reason.
What's that?
I have been looking up all these different Christian videos to do videos on, and every single one of them will take what they want from it and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's not this. That's not just a pagan problem. That's a religious problem in general. Like, you have all the sects of Islam, you have all the sects of Christianity. Everyone will just take what they want. That's what makes religions successful.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, really.
By their own preference, picking and choosing what they like and making that true. Kind of the way people can choose if they're going to be male or female. It's all up to their own preference. But they probably would object to me saying, hey, well, I self-identify as a black man. That's what I think I am. That's who I am in religion. So you can't do that. You can't do that. Or if I want to say I'm going to be 6'5", they're going to no, you're not 6'5". So they always go.
Yeah, but okay. All right. So this whole gender thing, okay, if you grow up and you feel that you are not the gender that you identify with, the gender that does not correspond to your sex, meaning that if you grew up male but you feel more comfortable as a woman or identify as a woman, and this is something that it doesn't change. It's the way that you felt all of your life. Then you should be, and if you decide to start dressing as a woman and start, becoming essentially the gender that's different from the sex that you are, it's not a passing fad. Now, if it's somebody who just says that, oh yeah, well, you know, I'm a 6 foot tall black man, and they're obviously like a 5 foot tall white male. It's like there's no comparison there. Those are two completely separate things. So this guy's a fucking idiot.
Draw the line on what they perceive to be right. And in this case, they're just overlooking the side of Wicca, of witchcraft, the threefold law. If you want to see this threefold law in practice affirmed as being a part of
Yeah, so let's go to a fantasy movie to explain it. Good idea.
witchcraft of Wicca, watch the movie The Craft from the 90s, and you will see that this is the big kind of theme or moral of the movie. What good you put out will come back to you threefold. One of the girls goes off the rails, practices black magic, and it comes back to haunt her. It comes back to harm her threefold. I've met 3 Wiccans in my life, discussed the religion with them. One of the Wiccans did say that she does practice magic, but she only does white magic. She only blesses people because the one time she did black magic and sent a curse to someone, that curse came back on her threefold. She said from her own personal experience, she saw the law of triple return to be real, and she's no longer practicing that. All right, so hopefully you found this interesting, that the witches that are cursing Trump are actually, by Wiccan law, cursing and screwing themselves over more than they are Trump, at least, you know, according to their own belief system. I don't believe in any of that nonsense. All right, so subscribe to my YouTube channel there. There will also be a video there that you can select that YouTube says is recommended for you based on what you normally watch. And then check out contradictmovement.org and see more of my material there. God bless you all.
All right, well, that was it.
God bless you too, Andy. Have a good night, man.
Yes.
It's interesting how, at least with him, he went to kind of explain what was going on, where you have some of the people who just say, we got to stop them. How dare they? They're evil, kind of thing.
Right.
And I mean, even I, when that whole thing was going on, was like, why would you broadcast this? Why would you even do this? And it was a horribly written spell.
Yeah, and I don't even know where it originated. I mean, supposedly there was a Facebook page for it, but I don't know who came up with it.
I don't know either.
Yeah. It's just, I mean, the whole thing is just, I mean, to me, it seemed like somebody who really didn't know what they were doing putting it together, and it was more of like a way to get people involved in a way of protest. That's what it seemed to me. It didn't seem like an actual spell at all. And also, I agree. I don't see, there's no reason for me to actually make any kind of a spell public. And I'm definitely not going to make a curse or a binding spell public. I'm definitely not going to do that, you know?
Yeah.
Well, even when I did research into the Church of Satanism and stuff, the Church of Satan, they do their spells at night when their target is asleep, because then your spell will be more powerful because their energies will be down and you'll be just going right at them. So,
right. Yeah. So
for me, it's all showmanship.
Yeah. They recommend, like, 3 a.m. or something. Yeah. When your target's asleep or something. Yeah.
Oh, hi, cat.
Hello, cat. But I mean, just the whole thing is just ridiculous because you're making a public spectacle of it now, you know? And there's no reason to make a public spectacle of it, you know, unless you're trying to actually get what happened, which was you got media attention and then other people kind of jumped on the bandwagon of it. But I mean, even like the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn, which actually the guy who's doing it right now in Reno, Nevada, David Griffin and his wife, they put together a spell for ISIS, to bind ISIS back in, like, this was a couple of years ago. And people were calling it, to bind Daesh, because Daesh was the word that people were using. Even they, like, were talking about this Trump binding, saying that the spell was ridiculous and it was completely pointless to, even though the guy's an idiot and pretty much he's inexperienced, he shouldn't be in office, he's still our leader, you know. And so we just have to kind of like, you know, hope for the best.
Hope for the
he doesn't
best.
get us into a world war. In the meantime, you know, what did you say, Loki?
Hope for the best. Pray for a better outcome.
Right, exactly.
That's all you can do.
Yep. Hope that he just doesn't get us all killed and just, you know, like, okay, he'll be out of office soon. I mean, that's the way I look at it. I look at it just like, you know, it's like that the last couple of days before you get your paycheck. You just kind of gotta get through it. It's gonna happen. Just gotta wait it out.
One more day of PB&J and rice crackers. Almost there, man.
Yeah, right. Or more like another day of rice, and that's it.
One more day of top ramen.
But top ramen has so much sodium and salt in it.
And I'd still eat it. Well, I mean,
buy a bag of rice is so much healthier. If you have nothing else to eat, just eat rice.
Yeah, we have a bag of rice. We're down to about half of it. I mean, for dinner tonight, it's like, okay, Soren gets paid Tuesday. So I pull out what we had left of the regular plain chicken, and the bacon that needed to be cooked anyways, and potatoes. Chop that all up, cook that all in a skillet, and then made a thing of rice. And we had that on top of rice and added a little bit of cheese. And oh my God, I don't know why, but it was the best thing ever.
Well, you got bacon, potatoes, and cheese. Those three things go good together.
Add a little bit of chicken, and boom, you got dinner.
Yep. But I was just talking about, like, you know, like that last couple of days before paycheck, and you have absolutely nothing. You have like nothing but like rice. It's like, you know, just get through it. You know, eventually you'll get paid. That's how I look at the Trump thing. It's like, just get through it. All you got.
Yeah, that's
couple more days.
That's kind of how everything used to be, and now it's just like, can he just go away now? Can he just go to Twitterland and stay on Twitter, or can he just go on a golf vacation and stay golfing?
Yeah. Well, I mean, he still needs to be running the country. I mean, that's what he got into office for, I assume, not just to stroke his own ego. So let's see. What have we missed? Let's see. Raise a village. Hellbound Heathen. Do you think the spell could actually be something concocted by the Christians? It could be. Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, it could be. I mean, I think it was really just, I mean, it just really just brought attention to witches and just made us look kind of stupid. It could have been. I mean, I can't really see them like actually, you know, doing that, but they might have, you know. I don't know. I mean,
man, those videos,
too much conspiracy theories about, like, you know, I don't want to succumb to what they do and get all paranoid, think they're trying to, you know, but maybe they are. What'd you say, Dwayne?
It's just, I think a lot of them just were just like kids bored and stuff like that. You'd see kids wearing like their high school backpacks with their cell phones out with a candle, just like they're mostly dabblers, I'd say, like out for a cheap thrill.
Yeah, when I looked at the spell, I honestly saw it as two different spells. And so I believe that somebody just like downloaded. Obviously, they didn't know what they were doing because it didn't have anything to do with binding. It actually was a curse. It wasn't a binding, because what they were doing is they were saying, like, get a picture of Trump, and then you're going to burn him with an orange candle, and the orange candle is supposed to represent him. And it's like, no. In candle magic, I think orange is usually like money or prosperity.
Prosperity.
It doesn't make sense. Yeah. So if you were going to do a curse, you'd do black. Or yeah, I mean, I think black would probably be the best because you're actually doing a curse.
Yeah, there's black, there's dark purple, and a really dark blue. it's supposed to be a darker color, and if all else fails, white works because white can be used for anything. But at the same time, even reading along what the spell had said, it didn't make sense at all.
Right, exactly.
mean-
So I mean, it's just. So I mean, the whole. I'm just trying to remember the whole spell. So you burn the picture of him, but you're supposed to bind it first. So you're supposed to like take it and then wrap it in bind, and then you're going. So you're going. Okay, so if you're going to break this down in a magical sense, what you're doing is you're actually taking the energy and you're actually binding the picture of him, which is only just the face. So you're binding his ears, his eyes, and his mouth. And then you're taking that, binding all of that energy that you put out into the universe to cause him to become contained. And then you're taking that energy, you're burning it, and you're releasing it. So it does, to me, it doesn't make any sense because you're going through the actions of actually doing the binding and then you're releasing that bind. So it doesn't, so to me, the whole thing didn't make any sense because it was like a binding and a curse. I mean, you could have a curse of somebody and take the image of their picture and have them destroyed through fire. That makes sense, but that's a curse. That's not a binding.
Yeah. I mean, a binding, from what I remember, the best way to do a binding is, yeah, you do use a picture of the person and you tie the picture, but you leave the picture tied. And you don't burn it. Burning it is actually putting a curse or banishing or wanting to have something really bad happen to the person. So if they were just doing a binding, they wouldn't have burnt the picture.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Because you would bind the person. You would either maybe freeze them or bury them or hold them. Do something that would symbolize the holding or keeping inside. Maybe even put them in a jar or something. But you would be, because it's anyhow. Well, we all understand the symbolism of all that.
Oh yeah. But
oh yeah. So Kawaii
yeah.
Witch is saying not all witches adhere to the threefold law. Yes, I know. Kind of established.
Yeah, I'm a witch and I don't adhere to it. I find it an interesting little rule, but it's never bothered me. It's never affected me. I've never had anything come back on me threefold. I've never that's bad anyways. I've maybe had one or two moral repercussions when it came to doing something to someone, but that's just because I felt bad afterwards. And that's about the only thing that I've ever had fall back on me is actually my feelings. So to me, the threefold law is good for some people, but it doesn't apply to everyone.
Yeah, I mean, I've voiced this several times in other videos I've done. It just, to me, it's an understanding of how things affect the world and how we have to understand it. I mean, even if, for example, if you're doing this to the President of the United States, what are the repercussions of that? I mean, even if you do something against somebody who's a neighbor of yours, there's repercussions for that. I mean, you have to understand that every action has a reaction. You cannot just cause change to occur in the world without there being repercussions. And if you don't understand that, maybe you really need to understand that before you actually work magic.
Yeah.
You know, and I think at the heart of it, that's what the threefold law means. At least that's how I was trained to understand the threefold law. It's not like you wish for $5 and so you get $15 back, or that is absolutely ludicrous in my opinion. But understanding that, how are you going to get that $5? It's not going to spontaneously come into existence and float down into your hand. Somebody's going to have to lose $5, or somehow something's going to happen that is going to cause that change and that thing to occur. For example, let's say you do a curse against somebody for them to get hit by a car, and this person gets hit by a car. The driver is now responsible for that. The driver now goes to jail, and now they're in jail for the rest of their life. Was that your fault? I don't know if it was your fault or not, but it's something to think about. Every action has a reaction. Every effect has a repercussion. That's how I view it.
Yeah, I mean, I've done spells like when we were hoping for Soren to get full time and everything like that. I knew that the repercussion of if Soren got it, then somebody else was not going to get it who might have needed it. At the same time, it was one of those, I'm doing a luck spell to bring money into her life. Boom, Soren got full time.
Mm-hmm.
But that also means other people who put in for it didn't get it as well. So it's just like with everyday things. There's going to be a, yay, I got this, but somebody else who might have needed it just as bad as I did didn't get it.
Right.
So,
and there's also kind of like, just that little extra edge spell. It's like if you go in for like an interview or a raise or a promotion or something, and you do a spell to, kind of sweeten the deal, or to, to make yourself more attractive, or somehow to kind of put yourself higher than someone else. It doesn't necessarily mean that you cause that to actually happen, and then whoever got it, they're going to suffer consequences for it. They might actually get upset and leave and go to a better job, or maybe they weren't really trying, or maybe you were actually the most qualified person to get that promotion or get that job. So, I mean, that's the thing with magic. It's like you have to there is no moral authority. So you kind of have to weigh it out for yourself and think like, okay, what is the best way to get this accomplished and cause the least amount of harm,
Yeah. Well, I'm going to end up dropping out because I have to take a shower before work tomorrow because, yeah. And sadly, we have no other videos. So I shall talk to you guys later.
Yeah. All right. Good night.
All right.
Yeah.
I just
Night.
realized what time it was too. So night.
No problem. All right. See ya. Yeah. So, because we don't have any more videos, so I think we'll just go ahead and end it now. So that's pretty much it. So next week we'll have Zabora on if she's available, and Loki will be hosting.
Oh, it's gonna be fun. So
yes. All right. Well, thanks all. Thanks, Dorian. Have a good night.
have a good night, everybody.